Okay, I didn't draw a big crowd, I can see that. They're all coming later. They're coming with the cookies. I should probably tell you who I am a little bit. Let me see, where do I start? I don't want to go back to my childhood. What I'm going to talk about mostly tonight is, I'll talk about me a little bit as we go, but mostly what I'm going to talk about is where ideas come from. As an artist, you say, gosh, where did he get all these ideas for these paintings and things? And so my mind works really funny. First of all, I'm very ADD, so that helps.
I'm relating already, so go ahead.
Yeah, okay, that helps, and I just lost my place. See, that's what it does. But so let me see, where was I?
Ideas come.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. I guess that'll probably just show you what I'm doing, because I'm having a kind of a tough time getting my mind around talking and working. I've thought about this all day, and I get a great deal of anxiety thinking I got to go in front of an audience. And I've done this, 4 or 5 times before. I've been in this business about 50 years, and I've done many different demonstrations, and sometimes they work out, sometimes they don't. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what I do. I'm going to work real monochromatically to start with, and better put on some safety. I opened a tube of paint earlier, and I already have it on my finger, so I don't know why I'm going to worry about getting it on my hands now. But I wear gloves because a lot of the paints I use are very toxic. And one time I went through a time when I lost all my fingernails from the pigment, this stuff in the pigment, actually from turpentine probably. So I put these on, not so much for that, because it really feels good when you take them off.
That it does, doesn't it? It's like a fresh
Yeah, yeah. So, how you guys doing? All right. So I'm going to put some paint out here. Yeah, that'll be enough for that. I use mostly earth pigments. This is Prussian blue. It's made from crushed lapis lazuli or some such thing like that. It comes from Afghanistan. It's the only place on earth they find it, but they grind it up and make it with pigment, and it's been around forever. And this is burnt umber. Most basically what it is cooked dirt. And you mix and you take this blue. Now, wait a minute. Why don't everybody move closer? Get closer, everybody. That's all I'll do first. That works better. Then I'll get more comfortable too. Get real close. You can come right over here if you want. Bring a chair over here if you'd like. You can come right up in front of my table come on up here. Yeah, there you go. Come back. You can come over here. Somebody wants to come over here, you can't welcome.
Sit on your lap?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, right over there too. There's a lot of room right here. Yeah, there you go. Come this way a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, I got paint on my fingers. Oh well. That's why I put these on. Prussian blue and burnt umber. as you can see, if I hold it up here, and I usually work flat on a table. So this is kind of a uncomfortable experiment for me to try to do this tonight. And I mix them together, and I get a beautiful black, right? But is that black? No, it's got that blue tinge to it, see? And if you mix it a little different, I might add, oh, see, that's getting kind of a nice green. So, and that'll show up. That's good. Okay, enough of that. Now I work with different tools. Most people use paint brushes when they paint. I use, this is a printmaker's soft rubber brayer.
And these are oil paints?
These are oil paints. I'm not using printer's ink because it smells and it's sticky. So I just, and most people doing the monotype use a press, a printer's press. They're a lithographer's press, but I don't have one of those. They're hard to move around. They weigh a ton or two. But I developed this process, I think back in 1983 or 4. I went down to Santa Fe to work with a printmaker. I was working on a series of lithographs for a commission with that for a guy from Texas. But I was working down there, and Steve said, "Have you ever done a monotype?" And I said, "No." So he gave me some big plates. And I did 6 of them the first day. Man, it was just cool. Because whatever you put on the plate will print. And he takes them over to his press and ran them through, and they were wonderful. Well, not really. By today's standards, they weren't so good. But then I thought they were pretty cool. So I got home, and I was done because I didn't have a press. I could have gone and rented press time with people. So I started playing around with this, and I developed this method of hand burnishing. And I teach it. In fact, I'm going to be teaching a class in Fargo next week, Friday and Saturday. You guys, get up here. Get over here. Geez, what are you afraid of? I don't usually throw this stuff around, so come on. You can come up to it. If you don't want to, that's fine. That's where all the questions will go later. You always give them to the people in the back of the house. Yeah, okay. But I'm just kidding.
Is that porous?
Huh? No, this is not porous. It is not porous. In fact, I use this one on bigger plates, but I carved the handle. So it's and I've been using this one since I started. And if you take care of things, they last. I have a couple brayers at home when I was teaching in prison. That's no kidding. I used to teach in prison. They just wrecked stuff. I used it about 2 or 3 times and it was junk. Yeah. They didn't own it, so they didn't care. So I take care of things, and so here I'm going to do. I made a couple little sketches this afternoon. You think I'm kidding, don't you?
No.
What?
It's her. It's me.
Yeah. Huh. That's too complicated.
Do you have one of a fish in there?
A fish? Yeah.
I could see a fish from the back.
Did you want me to do a fish?
No, I just thought that was a fish when I walked in. I can't see very well.
Was seeing things.
You know, I've got macular degeneration, so I don't see very well at all. See, so if I pull out my magnifying glass,
that would help me.
so this is just all silly. If whatever I put on this plate will print. I'm just about finished. You guys got anything out of that yet? So whatever I put on here will print. So there we go. It's coming out. What do you see?
A face?
Huh?
Is it a face?
Well, probably. Could be. Okay, we'll make it a face. How about something like that?
A cabin?
Okay, but what I put on here, you're seeing it one way, but that's the way it'll print. So this is the way I'm thinking about it.
Oh, wow.
You know, so I'm thinking backward. And that's really quite a trick
Yeah.
when you got people sitting behind you and asking good questions. I'm just about finished though. Okay. It looks like I'm just fishing here, doesn't it? But I'm not. I know where I know where I'm going. A lot of this stuff, some of this stuff will stay, some of it'll go away. Now, I have here, this is John Wayne paper, special. It's the kind you find in gas stations, schools, and jail. It's rough and it's tough. It's rough and it's tough. And don't take crap off anybody. But, oh wait, I have tools in my pocket too. It's kind of, what was that?
Ding dong.
Yeah, that's what I heard too. Why are you making that noise? I said to myself. Okay. I have I work just about every day. This has been kind of a tough year for artists. People didn't think they needed to have art in their lives this last year. So I couldn't go anywhere, couldn't show anything to anybody. It was kind of slow. But every day, my lovely wife, and the young bride I married 52 years ago, she encouraged me, and I went to my studio every day. Didn't do anything. I just sat there.
So what is that tool you're using? Is that a piece of rubber?
This is
Eraser?
I make my own tools mostly. This is a plastic eraser. Remember they're clear, kind of. Wait a minute. This is kind of what they look like when they're new, but you get put paint on them long enough, they get kind of colored. And I just cut it and sharpen it. So you just put stuff on and take it off. And that's the my whole game. Put stuff on, take it off. I'm not trying to make something. We have a show this weekend, downtown Rapid City. I'm going to take part in, called Native Pop. And I thought, as we were eating dinner tonight, I told one of the guys, I said, maybe I'll do the piece that I'm going to enter in the competition. See, but they laughed, ha ha ha. Well, they didn't know that it only takes me about a half an hour to make a piece. And it's kind of, see that bear coming up there? You getting that? I'll screw it up here before long, so just be patient. Yeah? Is that okay? This is his mouth down here, so let's just kind of let it go around his chin. See, whatever I put on here is going to come off, so. And then I haven't, this is new to me to work standing up. I might make this my habit because I have this big belly and it's hard to bend over for very long. I'm 75 years old. I've been doing this. I went to school about, I graduated from Montana State University in Billings in 73. And then I went to school at Central Washington University in Ellensburg, Washington for my graduate work. So this is not like something I learned, everything I learned myself, you know. I had some really good people along the way that taught me a lot. I didn't pay a lot of attention to most of them. And that's what college is. Okay, what do we got over here? Got other things happening. Let's make something else happen. Oh, shoot, I didn't mean to use that one. Oh. Like I say, I have a habit of working and screwing things up. So let's just see what we get. If you have questions, it's just fine to ask them at any time. No, I never know Bob Ross. I'm going to do some funny little trees here, or that happy little squirrel. I'm sorry. Bear with me.
What did you start out painting?
What did I start out painting? What did I start? I don't have any idea.
Portraits, oil colors?
This or tonight?
No.
When you first started.
Oh,
When you first started?
I did a lot of things. Of course, you know, when you're in school, you're required to do almost every discipline there is, you know. I worked very realistically for a while. I work primarily now, I'm probably more surrealistic, you know. I've kind of twist everything around. And it seems to work for me.
But in your early days?
My early days, yeah, I probably worked more realistic. I did some portraits. I never cared much for portraits because people always want to be painted like they think they look. and, so, and I didn't care much for Western art. I you know, I refer to it as horseshit and gun smoke. But I really don't. I don't really fit in any kind of genre, you know, and I'm not afraid. I'm not ashamed of that. I should be probably. So, but what I'm saying is, if you're allowed to do, that's the nice thing about being here. We're allowed to do whatever we want to do. But I always tell young people, do it the best you can and get better. Don't ever be satisfied with what you have. Always got to be pushing it farther and farther. So, like right on this thing here, you know, I'm just playing. But sometimes in the play, something really, really fun comes out. You know, I have a couple bears here. Yeah, there's one there. There's another one happening down here. Maybe I'll let him come out too. What do you think? Yeah, that's good.
In some ways, it's a little bit like sculpting.
It is. Put some on and take it off. Don't be afraid. Yeah, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to fail. And that's with just about everything in life. Don't be afraid to fail. If you don't fail once in a while, you haven't really tried very hard. You know? And so I don't worry about it. I'm going to expend maybe a couple bucks worth of pigment here tonight and about $3 or $4 for a sheet of paper. Big deal. And maybe we'll get something that I can sell to somebody that didn't see me do it. People say, how long did that take you? I always say, well, let me see. 20 minutes and 75 years. Because, you know, I've been practicing, and I do a lot of this stuff all the time. Okay, this is just monochromatically. Now, if I want later, I can let this dry a little bit and maybe come back in and add a little bit more, some more pigment to it, you know, different colors. Or I can just let it dry completely and come over the top of it with oil pastels, which I do most of the time. If you'd like to look at some of my work, I'm online. I think it's, I don't do computers. My wife back here, I'm at rogerbroer.com. Yeah, there you go. So it's pretty easy. Anybody have a paper you can write down my name? Everything I have online is for sale.
Spell your last name?
Broer. I'm a citizen of Pine Ridge Reservation here in South Dakota. I'm an enrolled member. I got this name when I was real small from some people that adopted me. And they're gone now, but I kept the name. I don't particularly like my middle name, and I'm not going to tell you what that is. It's very Germanic. I didn't take that 21andMe or whatever. I didn't do that because I'm afraid they'd find out I'm part German. I couldn't tolerate that. So I'm sorry. Some of you are. That's okay. And I'm real proud to know you. But would just soon not be, so I can be whoever I want. Let me see what I got here. I want to take, I don't know.
Once you let it dry, how do you transfer it to the paper?
I'm going to show you that in just a second. I want to show you that before. I want to show you that before my time is up. We never know when our time is going to be up. What am I doing? I'm just activating this space. That's what it is. That's what it all is, just activating space. Say what? Oh. Some people, I donated a piece to Crazy Horse here some time back, and it's upstairs in the gallery. Some people from Oregon saw it last week, got a hold of me, and came to the studio and actually spent some real money, which is an odd thing, but it's okay. Do what?
Proud to have it in the gallery.
Thank you. Are there any questions about Crazy Horse you'd like to ask me? Now this is where I start making up lies. Okay, now I'm going to print this.
Sorry about that. We were just helping him because he said he couldn't bend over anymore.
Do what?
It was just funny that that came out when, after you
Because
guys-
you said you couldn't bend over because of your fat belly, and she was trying to tell you how to do something.
Oh, I can bend over. It's just getting up that's the problem. When you get my age, somebody said, when you get a little older, whenever you're going to get down on the floor, you better get down there with a plan on how you're going to get up.
That's true.
Okay. I got to keep my tools clean. Excuse me just a second. This paint does dry pretty fast. Something about the chemical interaction between the Prussian blue and the burnt umber dries really fast. The colors that don't dry fast are ones like this sap green. Yeah, I buy colors. I buy paint by their name. I think I'm kidding. I have sap green. That sounds good. I have Indian red. I have, this is vermilion.
Oh, yeah.
That's a place in South Dakota. Yeah, it's good paint. And I have Indian yellow. So it's got to be good. Except the problem is, some of them are very heavy pigment. They have cobalt in them, or cadmium is a very heavy metal, and it's one of those things that kills your hands. Okay. Oh. Okay. Take this. Okay, that's what we're going to get. All right. So here we go. I have this board. I put some tape tape on it so I can lay my plate so it doesn't move. It registers. So if I want to go back in here with another color, I can re-register my plate.
Right.
I could wipe this all off and come back and print something else on here entirely different. So these are tools I make. This is the intriguing part of this. With the weight of my shoulder and my hand, that's spread out. It's probably 200 pounds pressure, concentrated on that small rim. And I just kind of do this to start. Starting to come up, okay? Let's see. There's still a lot left on the plate. So now I'll take that same pressure, but it's concentrated down about 4 times more. So now it's about 800 pounds. I've tested this, so I know that's just not off the top of my head. Or maybe I didn't. I don't know. Do what?
It's real, the difference is real awesome.
I'm not scrubbing. I'm putting the pressure down and just dragging back. Okay, I did that really fast. Not too bad. Let me see if I can get... Yeah.
What kind of paper is this, you say?
This is Arches BFK,
Arches BS.
Reeves BFK. It's 100% rag.
Oh.
So, okay. It's a little bit smaller. So, I'm going to go pull out some of these areas.
Now, if you add additional layers to that, backwards on each additional layer, I assume, for your sets of colors.
Do what now?
If you add additional layers, if you decide to add more colors into that, you have to think in reverse for each of those as well as you lay that layer.
That's
on.
right.
There's many layers, it's still
That's
got to
right.
be reversed.
Yep.
Not hard to think.
And okay, first on, last off. So if I say we're to lay a yellow on top of this, the black is going to want to be dominant because it's on top. It's on top of the paper. So
So you would start with the lighter colors, is that what you're saying? You wouldn't start with the lighter colors?
usually
Yeah, you do.
it's the same thing.
Yeah.
This is my first tool. It's made out of an antler and a piece of agate. And you know what that red rock is?
No.
It's a red toothbrush handle.
I was gonna say something, I was gonna say a flosser.
We just like to play. Oh wait, by the way, this is quite a bit smaller yet.
Yes, it is, yep.
It's smaller than this guy.
Oh,
Yeah. So it's an incredible amount of pressure I'm putting down. I've got to be done here because it's. I've lost interest in this.
I so relate to you. I'm just,
I want to pick up some of this stuff in the areas that looked like there was nothing on the plate. Yeah. Stay. You know, if I were to work back into this, I think I would probably do some drawing in it, first off, and I might add like a field of flowers, like your grandma's dress. You remember those little flowers that used to come on your grandmother's dress? They wore those print fabrics, you know. All grandmas did. Except modern day grandmas, they wear shorts. And, you know, it's a whole different deal. But I'm kind of happy with today, to tell the truth. But I think I would do something like that because I like to talk about things, and no matter what I've put down, I want to go back and reflect on some things that are more meaningful to me, that make the piece about me, you know, the artist. So I might do something like a little. There's some room here at the bottom, you know, or maybe up in here or something. Just adding some of those kinds of things, those little elements, that makes it very, very personal, you know. Because that's what my art is. It's very personal. And this is the byproduct of that art. Art happened making it. This is just what's left. Now I'm going to turn it back into making the art come forward by adding something very personal. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. You know, and I think that's kind of how I work. My ideas are crazy. I've been the last couple of days thinking about. I remember when I was a little kid, about 5, where I grew up. On your birthday, they made a cake. You know, my mother used to make this whipped frostings. God, it was bad. I just wanted to ask for some white bread, you know, to put it on. But I remember when I was 5, they took my picture. You had to go outside with your cake. They had a stool that your cake sat on, and you had to take the picture outside beside the house, you know. Well, I spent most of my childhood on that stool, beside the refrigerator. In fact, when my parents passed away, we went to the basement to clean things out and everything, and that refrigerator was down the basement. And we kind of laughed because all the paint was rubbed off the side of it. And they wondered why I had a great imagination. I had plenty of time to do kind of. I just sat there and dreamed about stuff. Well, anyhow, back to the cake. I was about 5, and then when I was about 7, I'm standing there with my cake with that fake grin, and like, you know, 7-year-olds will do, and I had the same shirt on.
Oh.
Well, I only had 2 shirts. We were poor, but we didn't know it. Everybody was poor, you know. But anyhow, so I was thinking, I ought to do something with that cake, you know. So I did this afternoon. I kind of made a sketch. I said, well, maybe I can do that tonight. But I'm not going to make me. I'm going to put 2 grandmas in it with their frilly aprons and stuff. I drew that this afternoon. That's the kind of thing, you know, working out an idea. And I got all kinds of crap here that, you know, just stuff you do. Oh, this is the bear tonight. So, yeah, that's that. Questions?
When you go back in
How many what?
How many prints?
This is done. This is done. Can get a little bit off, you can figure, but the oil leaves. And when the oil leaves, I mean, as it's leaving, this paper's like a sponge. And the oil is what leaves. It just brings some pigment with it. Well, it leaves a little bit of pigment on the plate, but that's okay, because I know about how much is going to be left. You know, so, and you gotta see it. I actually got to talking here, and this thing almost lost the plate.
Oh, okay.
I get it. That's no problem.
There's nothing you can put on that.
I just make it look a lot worse than it is. So
When you add another color, Roger, would you add other things in? Is it another plate that you do?
I could. Just a minute. Let me show you. Just stay where you're at. Am I going to miss the train?
No. Sorry, I forgot to.
Are we going somewhere? That's the second time your phones went off. You spend way too much time talking on that phone.
I wanted to see your gallery.
Huh?
I wanted to see your gallery.
Oh, I thought you were
That's what got
talking.
me in trouble.
Oh, that's okay. 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 Let me just get this here.
Now, that's real glass, right? That's not
This is
Plastic.
plexiglass.
plexiglass, it is?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I couldn't use real glass. They don't trust me with real glass. I'm thinking. I have registered that I can't. I tore it off, so I'm trying to figure out where we registered it at 1.5 inches. Okay, that'll be good. Hold on. Wait here.
Roger, would you sign a piece on the plate, or would you sign it?
No, I never signed it on the plate. No.
Because you have to do it backwards.
Well, that's no problem.
Oh, well, that's good.
for
Figure it
for
was.
me, that's no problem.
I didn't figure it was. For me, you wouldn't know what my name is.
I had to.
You can't even tell by your original.
Right?
We were talking about that a couple of weeks ago, Roger, about how it's not exactly a signature as in words or names as such, but it's more of an image signature.
Mm-hmm.
Well, my signature is more. I designed my signature so people could read it and remember it. Okay. So, what I'm going to do with this plate, just take just a second. I can throw some color in here. I gotta take that plate. What's under here? There's some. That guy is, he's just a troublemaker. Now re-register the plate. This is not hard, folks. Okay.
And that's a wax piece?
No, this is a litho pencil.
Oh.
They remember they used to have those grocery stores where they had to mark your own price on the can.
Yeah.
You know, well that's where I got a whole handful of them one time. Well, I knew they weren't going to do that long because people were writing whatever they wanted on the can.
I'll pay 2 cents for it.
I knew they weren't going to do this long, so I like those pencils. I'm not saying that. I'm not promoting this group. I'm not promoting stealing, but it was kind of funny. I don't know if I did or not. Probably did. Okay. So, stay up there. That's the plate. Remember where the stuff was? So I just traced it on the back side. So that I can add color into these areas, and I'll do that by hand. This is fun. Hate it when you're turned around and the doctor does that. Or he says, "You're in the military. Assume the position." So I hate that. So I'm going to add a little bit of this. How's that?
What color is
That's Indian yellow. And I'll probably come back here, probably move that around a little bit. I didn't get my brayer very clean, did I? Okay. That's enough. Now, what that's on there really thick. And so,
There's not like, a chemical, but it won't come off. You just have to rub it off.
do what?
There's not anything that can help you remove it,
From what?
like turpentine or like you said, turpentine. You don't want to use anything like that on your,
Like a thinner or
yeah.
Oh, yeah, you can.
I didn't know if that's,
Yeah, I could. But I'm not gonna.
if it would
'Cause-
damage the,
It's too smelly.
okay.
I don't use any. I don't use it when I'm painting directly on canvas or linen. I use a thinner, and I use Japan dryer and all kinds of stuff you shouldn't. But doing this is, you got to work. I'm working very, very thinly. You know, it's just, boy, I can't believe that really bonded there. I want to probably stay. Okay, I can throw a little something else up in there. Let's go with this. Oh, this green is good. Green's good. This is sap green. So there's just any way to move the pigment from here to there, you know. Okay, guys, thanks for coming. I'm just having fun. So. So whatever I want to do is perfectly fine. That's good. It's just enough to show you how we do that. I can come back here now and go down here. And I can throw that down. This is getting pretty. these pigments are a little more stainy. See? So they aren't as dense. So there's a little bit to learn about, the viscosity of different pigments, So these are mostly just stains.
Do you find that different brands are even like this, if you pick the same color name in different brands that you?
Well, the pigment I used to use was Daniel Smith from Seattle, and he went out of business. So I just kind of play around with different pigments, but I don't buy a lot of different kinds. I try to stick with, see, this was Daniel Smith here. That's the last tube I got of that. But I use Winsor Newton a lot. Their quality isn't what it used to be 20 years ago or 30 years ago. But that's the way it is. I try not to get like Shiva or some of these places, some of these pigments that are made in Israel or whatever, because they don't put any. They use a lot of extender, but they don't use a lot of pigment. So that's all. Questions? I'm going to quit now. That's what I do. That's what I do. Now this is just waste. But you can't be stingy with it either when you lay it out. Lay out a pile, because sometimes it's hard to go back and get that color again. Sometimes when you get mixing to a certain color, and you make just too smut, don't have enough, and then you got to try and mix that again. It's not really a problem for me anymore, but I've been at this a long time, I guess. Okay.
Very cool. Do you ever add your colors to a palette and save that overnight or?
This? Sometimes I have. I put a piece of saran wrap down over the top of it, and then put an empty can underneath on top of that, and put a rock on top of that, and it doesn't really work.
I was like, wow, okay.
Because for some reason the oil interacts with the plastic, and it gets really kind of gummy. So, and I guess that's probably there's some danger involved in that too. So I usually throw that away quick. Because I still do worry about my health, and that's the way it is. Okay. Yep, that's life in the fast lane, folks. Oh, you didn't see that? I'll put that up there. I don't like that green. See, this is the problem I get into. I do something and I get all over. Pink and green go good together. Gee, I was just wondering. I said I was done. Why don't you guys leave?
You're still creating.
Well, that's just the way it is. I can't just leave things alone. So, do what now?
I was just seeing if we had any other questions. I was gonna say thank you to everybody for coming.
Yes, no.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you so much, Roger. Thank
What
you.
percent would you say you had envisioned before you